Get the recording started. So I have, sorry, as I decided to do that with the recording, my partner here would like to join me. That's Chula. She wants her own panel spot, but I'm told her she has to
I'm with her on that one. I vote yes, yes, yes.
So welcome everybody to our monthly new moon gathering with Ralph Macintyre, who is an evolutionary astrologer and astrocartographer, and Brenda Bailey, that is me, who is a theta healing master and instructor. We're really glad for those of you who are joining us through the webinar. Keep in mind that when you do register for the webinar, I'll say it once again on the recording, that you will get a copy of this. So it's kind of nice because I have to tell you, Ralph gives a lot of information. So that's always great. So once again, if you'd like to be part of our Facebook group, we don't do a lot of posting in that, but we kind of keep you in the know on what's going on. And that's at www.joinmoogatherings.com. So we will save this for later so that we can just be all ears with Ralph and what he would like to share with us and what is going on in the astrology world, Ralph.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope everyone is having a fabulous day. So the moon, what is up with the moon right now? So the sun in the sign of Taurus, the moon in the sign of Scorpio. So we have this water, earth water stuff going on. So not to repeat what I talked about last time, but I want to kind of just do a little refreshing in the sense that we're in cycles upon cycles. And as we're talking about this monthly cycle, the larger cycles, and I mentioned the Neptune in Pisces as being the overriding cycle. And then also I talked a little bit about the fact that the nodes and Pluto, the south node of the moon, Pluto and Saturn are retrograding together for this whole summer. And one of the things that's kind of the opportunity with that transit, and I use the word opportunity with big quotes, as in it may not feel like an opportunity. You know, it's like, oh, you have an opportunity for a root canal. Aren't you lucky? So the south node of the moon, that's the karma that we're all working on. So collectively, the karma in Capricorn, and Capricorn is structure. And so one of the things that's really kind of going on for people right now, me particularly, and most of the people I'm working with, is this opportunity to look within this retrograding process for 6 months where we're looking in, we're kind of looking at what's going on, what's not working in your life, what's holding you back, what are the kind of the karmic underlying stories is really what this transit's asking of us. And with the nodes of the moon right now, the south node is in Capricorn, the north node is in Cancer. So the solution to the south node is feeling. And the more and more you look into karma, the more you talk to everyone, there seems to be somewhat of a consensus that a lot of what you're doing with karma is feeling unfelt emotions, reconnecting in with trauma feelings that you're holding in your energetic body. I don't know if you read any of the articles I posted onto the Facebook page, but they had very much a common theme. And interesting, when you have transits that are affecting the collective, you'll start to see that this information is being invoked out of pretty much everyone. So, you know, more and more people are going to start writing articles about this very subject because that's what's kind of present for them. So if you're in tune, you might find that you got a lot of opportunities. And it's really kind of like, I mean, I think on some levels a root canal is somewhat of a good analogy in the sense that, you know, when you have a toothache, and it's like ever present, and you can't focus and you can't do anything. And it's just sitting there, and it's like you can't not deal with it. You know, it's like you don't want to deal with it. No one wants to go get a root canal. If root canals were optional, no one would ever do it. It's like, it's the fact that your tooth is just like so infected, so hurting. And if you don't do something, you can't focus. And so on some levels, the South Node, Pluto, Saturn, um, it's like that sore tooth. And the North Node of the Moon, the feeling, the sitting there, really connecting in, slowing down, staying present with your feelings. And right now, with that overall cycle, we have this moon cycle. And so the moon in the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio, if I were going to pick one sign that represents all of what I'm talking about, karma and all this stuff, I think I would use Scorpio. And the reason why is Scorpio is about deep truth. It's about really connecting, being honest, regardless of how painful it is. You know, it's like talking about the real things, regardless of how uncomfortable it makes you feel. So from an emotional standpoint, the moon up in the sky right now, emotionally, we're all really wanting to dive deep, dive into the uncomfortable, to dive into what is unseen, what are we not looking at, what are some of the things that are affecting us emotionally from the past. This is all kind of Scorpio territory. And when we have a full moon, that means the moon is on one side and the sun is on the other side, meaning that they cannot get any further apart. So it's like the moon wants to dive deep into deep, intimate, kind of challenging stuff. And the sun's in Scorpio, in Taurus, an earth sign, which is like Taurus ruled by Venus. It's about relaxing, comfort. It's about what is really truly important to you, what calms you down. So it's like on some levels, the sun's sitting there asking us to get comfortable, get calm. And the moon's like, no, we want to dive into deep emotions. And at first glance, you might think, oh, conflict, they're not getting along. But if you look a little deeper, it's more, it's kind of like if you need to do a big, deep cry, Scorpio, there's nothing better than a nice, comfortable chair with a dog sitting on your lap. Taurus, to allow yourself to dive deep into those emotions. I know I was describing Brenda.
I'm like,
she
wait a minute.
doesn't often share that there's a dog sitting on her lap. Most of us that know that little doggy doesn't get far from her lap. And on some levels, that Taurus energy is the comfortable. Really, it's about calming down. What calms you? What makes you happy? What allows you to relax? This is all Taurus energy. And interestingly enough, right now in the sky, there's a bit of a party in Taurus. We have Uranus, Venus, Mercury, and the sun all sitting in Taurus. So a couple things that have happened significantly changed from last time, besides the sun and the moon. Venus came out of that Aries fire sign, moved into its natural sign of Taurus, which is a very calming place for it. It's a very comfortable place. You know, the Venus and Aries energy don't work as well as Venus and Taurus energy. You know, Venus is naturally sits in Taurus, so it's very, very comfortable. It's kind of like, let's enjoy life. Let's really relax and look at what's comfortable, what's nurturing us. And the real key about that is to relax, because I don't know about you, but for me, when I'm deep in my karmic story, I'm deep in my wounds, this whole concept of relaxing is kind of a foreign language to me. I'm like usually all wound up, kind of all excited, like, oh, my brain's like, and that relaxing energy is what's going to allow you to dive deeper into that true feelings. So it's like so often when we're talking about karma stuff, we get triggered by someone that has nothing to do with what we're really feeling. But if you kind of stay on the surface, it's so easy to say, oh yeah, that person pissed me off. Oh, I hate it when you do that. Oh, look at what you did, how you hurt my feelings. But if you dive deeper, if you take that Scorpio plunge into what really is going on, you look into the structure, that Capricorn Pluto interaction right now, I would say almost 100% of the time, if you react to it, it's more likely coming from your past, either childhood wounds or karma wounds. And so one of the things that I was going to kind of suggest today, and I kind of pulling a little bit of a fast one on Brenda today in the sense that I didn't ask her about this, but I think she'll be all right. So,
Oh God, go on.
One of the things that was kind of coming to me as we move forward in this meeting is for everyone to kind of identify this block that's happening in the past, karma. And some people might be able to actually physically identify it as, oh, this is what I'm working on right now. Um, for me right now, worthiness issues is really big up in my to-do zone. It doesn't matter if you actually can identify it. If you just kind of know it's there and point at it, and that way, and this is where I think I'm gonna not walk off the edge of appropriateness, but I think Brenda's gonna be able. So what'll happen is that when Brenda does the healing around it, she'll be able to work with whatever we all identify. How'd I do, Brenda? Did I like walk off the cliff there?
Not too much. Not too much.
Good.
Not at all. No, I can handle it. I was like, wait a minute. What is he going to talk about here?
Yeah, I figured I could get away with it, but I So.
He's thrown in some major work to be done. So I'm like, all right, for those of y'all that are here or that will be listening to this or that are watching it on Facebook, good for y'all. This will be good.
And one of the things about this particular time is it's when you work in harmony with the stars, with the planet, in the universe, your efforts are met with the power of the universe, meaning that right now we're all have the opportunity to let go of these karmic blocks. And so if you do the work, if you do the breathing, if you do the calming, if you do the kind of look beyond what's really lighting you up and not point the finger at someone else, but do the inner work, the universe is there to assist you. And you're going to get all the power of the stars. So my recommendation, obviously speaking, is to work with the energy of the stars. And that's part of the reason why I like astrology. It's why I do what I do, is to help people understand how to work with the stars or the universe, or however you want to call it, the energy that is affecting us currently. So, couple other things that are happening. So right now, we have pretty much earth and water. Jupiter in Sagittarius is the only planet in a fire sign. We still have Chiron in fire, but as far as all the planets, they're either in earth or water. And that's a nice calming and kind of emotional, sensitive, nurturing energy that's happening right now. Mars just moved into Cancer. So interestingly enough, we had Venus in Aries, which is kind of an agitated energy. We had Mars in Gemini, which is kind of a fired up, active energy. And both of those two planets just recently, within the last week or so, moved from that agitated energy to a more calming energy. Venus and Taurus, it's like calm down, sensual, take care of yourself, do the things that nurture you, enjoy beauty. And then Mars in Cancer. So Mars is where you take action, how you take action, where the warrior side of you is. It's the predator prey, it's the fear. So Mars entering into Cancer is really giving us the courage to dive deep into our emotional state. And anyone that's done this kind of work knows that it's not for sissies. The type of things you're going to feel, the things you're going to stir up, are not necessarily comfortable or easy. They can be very, very scary. It's kind of looking into the unknown. It's a very scary thing. So Mars entering into Cancer right now is really there to help us have the courage, take the action to really dive deep and get the most out of this transits. Let's see, let me take a look at my notes really quick to see what I am forgetting. So feeling unfelt emotions is really the key to what's going on for us all right now. And the more we dive into that, the more we can find the freedom that is on the other side of that. So once again, if someone has any houses or placements of this stuff, if they want to enter it into the comments, I would be more than welcome to address that directly. How'd I do, Brenda? You have any questions or anything that's not clear?
No, I think you did really well. So, as always,
did I overload you with too many?
No, you did not. Actually, this was probably the shortest amount of notes that I've taken in a while. I did want to ask you, and I don't know if you have anything to add with this, because I know that I myself, as well as others, have heard about the solar flares that were happening like today. Do you have anything to say about that? Or because I know they were saying that it was really going to affect us emotionally.
Yeah, well, the sun bombards us with all sorts of different energies. And I mean, the solar flares are more, they're not really astrological. It's more of a physical reality in the sense that that's something that's happening. I know a lot of people that are very sensitive to that. It is a very powerful energy. I think on a lot of levels, I put that into the category of not feeling like you're completely crazy. So it's like if you are overwhelmed, if you are having a hard time right now, very likely you might be more affected by the solar flares and this bombardment of energy that's happening. And don't give yourself a hard time. Just, kind of, so to speak, relax and enjoy the ride, even though it's not a comfortable ride. But it's like with anything. It's like if you tense up, it's way more difficult. So yeah, that's what I'd have to say about the solar flares.
Okay. So I got to throw something back on you as
I was
well.
gonna say, you like throw something, like ask me a question. It's like, oh, okay. I'm
And of
ready
course,
for it.
if any of y'all have any questions, now's the time. I mean, you'll have plenty of time, but now's the time to, if you have anything that you want to ask Ralph about this Scorpion moon or the Taurus sun or anything like that, feel free. If you were on Facebook, I have to tell you, I am juggling way too many balls to be able to like see it there and do it here, which again, here's the advantage of being on the webinar. And so I guess we'll get started with the theta healing part of it. And again, you guys have an opportunity anytime to be able to ask any questions that you would like. So we're just glad to have y'all joining us. So we're looking at theta healing. So I always tell people theta healing, people can tell me how they think and how they feel. What you create in your life is what you believe. And we hold that on a cellular level. So a lot of times, a lot of the information that's out there will tell us, oh, you need to change how you think. But and then that'll change your beliefs. But actually, it's the other way. We change our beliefs on a cellular level through theta healing, and actually our thoughts and emotions actually follow. So that makes it a whole lot easier to do, especially when, you know, Ralph starts throwing in like karmic wounds and blocks and all that. This is a way easier technique to use than, say, anything else. Personal opinion, been doing it for 14 years. So, Ralph, do you know if solar flares affect kids more than they do adults, or is it adults more than kids? Do you have any idea on that?
Well, I think that people that tend to be more sensitive uh, are more affected, and in whole, children tend to be more sensitive, especially the younger they are. There, so I would say I don't know for sure, but my sense is yes.
Okay.
They
So
would
we had that question. So
yeah.
I wanted to check in with you on that. So when we do theta healing, we always start off with 3 basic beliefs. Any change that you would like to have, because this is a very respectful, complementary modality, is that we always have you say yes out loud. So, and you can just follow Ralph's lead. He will lead that once we get to that point. So it allows, you know, the universe, God, whoever you believe in, your brain, all of that to all buy into it, right? Like we're all in agreement on this. We would like this change. So there are always 3 basic beliefs that we start off with, and they are: I want an instant healing, I deserve an instant healing, and an instant healing is possible. Whenever I work with a new client or student, I always make sure that they have those 3 in place. So if we have somebody new, like in Facebook land or here on the webinar, that has not joined us before, and you don't have those, or you can just say yes just for good measure, because that's what Ralph will be doing, because he's been with us since the beginning. All you have to do is just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes. My favorite part.
Yeah, I think Ralph was a little apprehensive and not quite sure. He was going to give it a shot, see whether or not he wanted to do this, you know, monthly deal. But now he's totally on board.
Well, you know,
Like,
not you know, I guess I can admit this among friends, but my favorite part is to say yes, yes, yes. You didn't figure that out. I get a little anxious and excited, and sometimes I say it too quickly. Brenda's got to slow down there. But
that's okay. I know that there's some people out there that are with you. We just don't hear them. So they're like, okay, let me let her finish first. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get creators, gods, okay? Because that's who, and again, fill in the blank, whoever you feel like is who you believe in to be your higher power. So I'll just be saying God or creator. I use those interchangeably, but you go ahead. If it's not either one of those, fill in the blank. It's all good. So we're going to go ahead and get God's definition, because creator, God, has the most objective definition. So I'd like to get that for karma. And we want to be in alignment with that, know what that feels like from God's perspective, and that it is possible and that it's safe. So if you would like to have that definition, that most objective definition of karma, just say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then let's go ahead and also, when you experience trauma, from a theta healing perspective, we say that you will have what we call free-floating memories. So we have those. What it does is they are part of our being, and they either attract similar traumas, or they will cause us to project on something that has nothing to do with that trauma. So we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event, right? Because maybe you know something in your life that has caused this, but more than likely most of us don't. And we want to go ahead and get it from the first one, right? Because then it all gets to be retroactive for us. So we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from feeling unfelt emotions. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from discovering our deep truth. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from being completely honest. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from diving deep into the uncomfortable. Also, we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from being comfortable while we dive deep. And also, we just want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from being comfortable. And also, we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from calming down, irregardless of what's going on around us. And I think I'm going to do that round first, and then go on to some other parts of my notes. So whenever we get definitions, it does allow us, and any definitions that we need to be in that objective place from with this work, we're always getting it to be in alignment with creators, what it feels like, and that it's possible and that it's safe. And with the trauma work, with the free-floating memories, we are getting how it serves us to do it differently, what it feels like to do it differently, that it is possible, and that it is safe. So if you'd like all this work that I've just listed, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. And then we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from enjoying life. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from relaxing. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from discovering our true feelings. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from having and taking accountability in our lives. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that we're obligated to resist the energy of the stars. And we also want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from knowing how to work with the energy of the stars. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from taking care of ourselves. So again, any definitions that we need to be in alignment with Creator, that it is what it feels like, that it's possible, that it's safe. And with our trauma, free-floating memory work, we're going to get how it serves us to do it differently, what it feels like to do it differently, and that it is possible and safe. So if you would like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then the last, the best for last, I'm going to say, is that there is a karmic wound, right, that Ralph was talking about, that we all have that one that we're working on right now, that we are unfolding and looking at, and whether we're aware of it or not. So let's go ahead and remove the free-floating memories from the original event of that, we'll call it the original karmic wound. And then we also want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that obligates us to have karmic blocks. And so we are going to, with that trauma free-floating memory work, we're going to download how it serves us to have this work, that what it feels like for it to be done, that it is possible, and that it is safe. So if you would like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
Nice. Anything else you want to add, Ralph?
I think that pretty much covers it.
Okay, good.
Oh, actually,
So,
there was one thing I wanted to add,
mm-hmm.
And that is that I really want to extend the opportunity for people to put this into their own personal chart by sharing with me in the chat where any of this lands in your personal chart. So the homework, not that I would ever want to give anyone homework, but the opportunity you have is to figure out where this is in your chart and then put it into the chat box, and I will talk about it directly if you so desire. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say.
That's where Ralph and I differ, because I give homework all the time. Ralph just wants to make suggestions. He's much nicer than me. So, you know, I am going to go ahead and get this slideshow PowerPoint presentation up just so that everybody can see it and get us over to the side. So again, if you'd like to be part of our Facebook group, feel free to join us. Tried to make it easier by having it be a URL, which is www.joinmoongatherings.com. The next new moon gathering, which will be in like 2 weeks, I believe, is Wednesday, June 5th. I'm in Central Standard Time. Ralph is in Pacific Standard Time or Daylight Savings Time, whatever it is, but I've got it as PST and CST. So it's always the same time, always the first Wednesday of the month. And this is the URL that you can register at so that you will get a reminder, plus you will also get the recording. So I always tell people, just take a picture of this so that you can look at it later or join the group and it'll be there for you. We post all of that. The next full moon gathering, so in a month, will be Wednesday, June 19th. Hey, Ralph, when, just out of curiosity, when is the actual full moon? Because I know we kind of do this a little bit before. Do you know?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay, come back to us on that.
I have it right here.
Okay.
You're talking about this full moon.
Right, in May.
May 18th, 2:12 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay. So it's in 3 days. We just want to give you some information prior to it so you guys are good for it. So again, that just kind of came to me to let y'all know, right? And so Wednesday, in fact, I should always just ask Ralph to let us know when the new and the full moon are, since we're not exactly doing it on the day of, or maybe we are sometimes. So the next full moon gathering, which will be in June, is Wednesday, June 19th. Again, times are always the same, always the third Wednesday of the month. And this is the link to register for that so that you can get ongoing reminders. And then if you don't make it, you'll actually get a copy of the recording. How to get a hold of Ralph, our evolutionary astrologer and astrocartographer. That is www.astro-map-links.com. And then Ralph always has this amazing offer to our group. Someday he's going to pull it away from us, but in the meantime, take advantage of his generosity. So 50% off his complete world map. What is it? Originally like $50, Ralph?
Yes, it's $50 normally, so it's $25.
Yeah, so it's $25. Sometimes I think that people are like, oh, I can't afford that, but $25. And it is a very cool, it's like 3D, and you can play with it, and you can put different lines up and take different lines down. It's a lot of fun. Also, when you have a reading with Ralph, that's included in the reading price, right, Ralph? Is that right?
No.
It's not. Okay, never mind. So get it now at the 50% off, and then when you have a reading with them, you'll have it.
And you don't need one to have a reading, but it is
suggested, recommended.
No, most people find it preferable. I'm fine giving you a reading without that. I use my program will do maps, but most people find it's better for them in the long run.
Most people are visual. It is helpful.
Yeah.
So if you want to know more about me, here's the link on that. They'll just give you some information about me. If you want to hear more about ThetaHealing, here is a YouTube link for that. If you want to know more about what I offer, so as far as sessions, coaching, classes, it's all on this actual video that I have here. And if you just want some more belief work, you can join my Facebook group, which is www.joinblastyourbeliefs.com. Okay. And then once again, if you'd like to be part of our Facebook group, and it's just that we just keep you in the know what's going on, it's www.joinmoongatherings.com. So we made really good time, Ralph. So thank you again for everybody who has joined us on Facebook as well as in the webinar. We absolutely appreciate it. And just to kind of let you know, Ralph and I have some other things in the works that you'll probably see in late fall that will be, you know, a beautiful combination of theta healing with our evolutionary astrologer who likes to work with emotion, which is a beautiful combination, right? So just to let y'all know that, and we really appreciate you joining us.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, everybody. Good night.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful